the worst mistake a student can make during the IELTS is not managing their time well. And because this can lead to incomplete answers or leaving questions unanswered, which can significantly impact their score. It's essential to, keep an eye on the clock and pace yourself accordingly.
Well, now the next question is, how can I practice speaking at home?
Well, you can practice speaking at home by finding a study partner or a language exchange partner, to practice with, or you can record yourself and listen back to your recordings to identify areas of improvement. You can also practice by, reading out loud or describing everyday objects in English. Also, before I forget, you could also go through sample answers and speak them out loud.
Right. Now, jumping straight to writing. Can a student use all capital letters in listening and reading tests?
Well, why not? You can definitely use capital letters in the listening and writing test.
Now the question is, can I use personal pronouns in task 2?
Well, my suggestion is to avoid them as much as you can. It can make your answer casual and we want to avoid that. Particularly pronouns such as you, we, us, all of these should be avoided.
Hey, have you ever come across a student who doesn't know the answer to a particular question?
Come on, Manisha, haven't we all?
Right. And the next question is about the same.
Well, if you don't know the answer to the question in the speaking section, it's okay to say, I don't know. But it's better to use some other strategies to show that at least you're trying to answer the question. For example, you can ask the examiner to repeat the question or ask for clarification, or you can try to answer the question by explaining your thoughts and ideas related to the question. So at least you won't go quiet. The key is to keep speaking and showing your ability to communicate effectively in English. You can steal time actually by using fillers such as well, that's an interesting question, that's a good point, and so on. And then, make up some facts or an example.
All right. Now, are body language, facial expressions, and eye contact essential for a good band score in IELTS speaking interview?
The million-dollar question, no? In short, yes. Your non-verbal clues play a huge role in conveying confidence and clarity. When you're taking the IELTS speaking test, you want to use your body language, facial expressions, and eye contact to help you connect with the examiner and sound more natural and fluent. But don't worry too much about it. Just focus on yourself and let your natural expressions come through.
That's a relief. What about the order in which you take the test? Listening, reading, writing, or speaking?
Well, if you take our advice, then you got to start with listening section, then move on to reading and then writing, and finally finish up with the speaking section. There's no changing the order, so you got to prepare yourself for this sequence.
Okay. Now this is a fun question and I won't be lying here. I've heard this question almost every time I interview a student. Can you guess?
Well, is it about the road that shouldn't be taken?
Absolutely, our question is, if my English is not that good and if I am taking the IELTS exam in a month, is there any shortcut to prepare for it?
Well, unfortunately guys, there's no magic trick or shortcut to getting a high score on the IELTS, especially if your English is not strong. But you can still do your best to improve your language skills by putting in some serious work. Get yourself a tutor, join a study group, or find online resources to help you practice consistently. It's also a good idea to immerse yourself in the language by listening to music or watching movies or talking to native speakers. Not gonna lie, Manisha, the next question is definitely by someone who is a movie buff like you. Our question is that true that people get better at English just by watching English movies and series?
Yeah, watching English movies and shows can definitely help you improve your language skills, but it's not the only solution, you see. While it can help you get used to different accents and vocabulary, you still need to put some efforts to actively engage in the practice and the use of the language. Try reading, writing, or engaging in conversation too.
I bet she's the perfect person to answer this question. She's a huge movie buff.
Let's move on to the next question now. Do I need to read all the paragraphs thoroughly while attempting the reading section?
Guys, not beating around the bush here. Yes, you've got to read every single paragraph when you're tackling the reading section. It's just how you deal with it. The questions are designed to test your reading comprehension skills. So you need to be able to understand the main ideas, supporting ideas, and some details.
Plus, skipping parts of the text might cause you to miss important information and answer incorrectly. But you can still use some strategies like skimming or scanning to help you read faster and respond to the questions even more efficiently.
Alright, I'm sure this next question has happened to a lot of us. After every question, I get distracted very easily when the audio is being played in the listening section. What do I do about it?